How does this dog use its ears to smell? Does this hound have a sixth sense about avalanches? Why does this breed sneeze in reverse? How did wrinkles and a magazine save this dog from extinction? Dogs 101 celebrates man's best friend. Today, the Basset Hound, the St. Bernard, the Shar Pei, the Boston Terrier. And we start with the dog that can make your insurance rates go up, the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler, so cute they write children's books about him, like Good Dog Carl. Or the Rottweiler, a breed so dangerous it's one of the few breeds banned in some towns. Wait, these are the same dogs? These dogs are gentle, aggressive, sweet, protective. Huh? How is this possible? Well, it is, and we'll show you how this dog may be the most versatile breed around.
This is a dog that just needs a lot of work. You have to really be dedicated.
You really do need to focus a lot on socialization and training. Got a lap full of puppies.
But there's something magical about that animal.
The Rotties, as they are affectionately known, were bred to be fierce, aggressive guard dogs. But properly trained, they can be pushovers.
That's a dog that can be absolutely ferocious and protective. But the flip side of that personality is an absolute lover, a gentle giant, a warm beast.
How is it this dog can be so fierce and so friendly?
Come on, kid.
Well, for starters, the dog is smart, and that makes him easily trainable.
Here's my cookie. Look at me.
This animal isn't for everybody. This dog needs serious training, making sure that it understands your lifestyle from A to Z in terms of who's coming, who's going, who to be nice to, when it should be in protection mode, and when it should definitely not be in protection mode. This is a fantastic dog if you do the right thing.
The other thing that makes these Rotties such versatile dogs is their heritage. They were bred to work for you, protect you, and please you. As the working dogs of ancient Rome, they were originally bred to be herding and guard dogs, and they quickly became the favored four-legged worker, guarding, herding, cart pulling, wrangling, all the stuff of olden-day living. Today, these dogs are still no-nonsense creatures. Remember to tread with caution when first meeting a Rottweiler. Over a 20-year period, purebred Rottweilers have been responsible for 16% of all dog-related deaths in America, second only to the pit bull.
You need to make sure that you're prepared to put in an enormous amount of energy and training when the dog is as young as possible to make sure that while that dog still has the potential to protect their family, that it's not a loaded gun.
It's absolutely a majestic, loving creature. But when it's in warrior mode, listen, this is a dog that has massive stopping power and is not afraid to use it.
Due to this reputation, some insurance companies still refuse coverage to Rottweiler owners. This Herculean jaw is the most well-known feature of the Rottie. Stronger than a pit bull or a German Shepherd. With 328 pounds of pressure per inch, the chomping power of this animal is massive. That power is all relative to skull size. The larger the skull, the stronger the bite. And Rotties have a big head. An instant Rottweiler giveaway is their coloring. Having no variation of color, their lips are always black, and so is their coat, with brown highlighting around the mouth, shoulders, and paws. Oh, and they have those cute circular brown eyebrows. Banned in the UK, the docking or clipping of a Rottie's tail is still widely practiced in the US. But now that pulling farm carts is not exactly necessary anymore, Rotties are getting their tails back. Unfortunately, due to overbreeding in the last 10 years, they have weak bones.
They have a lot of problems now, a lot of hip problems, shoulder problems.
Since Rottie pups will eat anything, it's easy to overfeed them, but don't. Too much protein equals growth spurts, which equals weak bones. But the real characteristic that Rotties are known for is loyalty. No joke, these guard dogs have your back. And in one very special case, the Rottweiler's smarts, strength, and loyalty were the difference between life and death. On a crisp spring day, little Mercedes Bedke, an active, smiling 8-year-old, had no idea her dog would save her life. It was lunchtime on this cattle ranch in Oakley, Idaho. And like every other day, Mercedes was doing what a kid her age does, playing with her best friend.
Buster's my best friend because he's fun to play with. He likes to run around. He likes to go in the cattle.
Buster, who had been adopted by the Bedkes 3 weeks earlier, had taken to Mercedes instantly. And from that day forward, they spent every minute together.
Anything Mercedes wanted to go do, Buster was right with her.
That connection probably saved Mercedes' life. That afternoon, with Buster in tow, Mercedes decided to ride her horse.
Well, I was on my horse, BJ, and I was seeing how fast he could go.
The horse got running faster, trotting faster than she could handle, and he slipped.
I flew off and hit the fence, and then he stepped on my skull.
At that point, Buster went blazing back to the house and did everything he could to alert the family that something was very wrong.
All of a sudden, there was a big bump at the door.
And there was Buster not acting right. And I told Frank, I said, let's go find her. Something is not right.
Mercedes' grandfather and great-grandfather jumped in the truck and started to drive to the north of the property, but Buster knew she was in the other direction. He jumped and yelped and did all he could to get them to turn the pickup around and follow him.
If he had enough sense to come to the door, he must know where he wants to go.
They reversed direction and within minutes found Mercedes. Had they not followed Buster, it would have taken another 30 minutes. Taken immediately into surgery to relieve the pressure on her brain, Mercedes' doctors believed that had she arrived any later, she would not have lived.
In my eyes, he's more than a hero.
Miraculously, Mercedes made it out of surgery. After a 3-week hospital stay, months of physical therapy, teaching her how to talk and walk again, she is now a happy 10-year-old.
If a dog could get something for being a hero, Buster would definitely deserve that reward.
Buster saved my life. I have billions of love for Buster. Attack on a puppy!
If Rottweilers are properly trained, they'll do anything for you. Rottweilers can adapt to multiple physical environments.
This is a rugged dog that can live in any kind of climate.
As long as this dog can get out and exercise, it can live anywhere. Rottweilers have a double coat, so they're going to shed. Yep, that black hair will get in every corner of the house, unless you brush them often. Unfortunately, due to overbreeding in the last 10 years, they often have hip dysplasia and weak bones.
These dogs are very eager to please, and they're very intelligent dogs.
While easy to train, the training is not optional. Remember, this will put the gentle in our little giant. As a family dog, go in with your eyes wide open. Rottweilers need extra care. As pups, they need sensitizing to small children and strangers. Remember, each individual dog is different. But in general, the Rottweiler can live anywhere. They are not the healthiest and tend to have weak bones, and just need a daily brushing. Early training is not optional. They are good family dogs, but be careful with strangers. If you want to adopt one, do your homework and select your dog with care. Rottweilers love to be your number one. Coming up on Dogs 101, the dog bred to save a skier's life. America's homegrown favorite, the Boston Terrier, causes a stir in Hollywood. The breed that was saved by a magazine cover. And the dog that was designed around a nose. The Boston Terrier is as American as apple pie. They're the first breed developed in the United States that's recognized by the American Kennel Club. Born in Beantown, Boston Terriers are lively, highly intelligent, and people-loving dogs. They provide endless entertainment and delightful comradeship. which makes the Boston Terrier wildly popular. So popular, Toto, the dog in The Wizard of Oz, was a Boston Terrier in several editions of the book.
They're my ideal companion, for sure. They've done nothing but inspire me and make me laugh.
I see a lot of Boston Terriers. It's like in the most popular breeds.
Good boy, Albert.
It's just a really fun dog to have around. Boundless energy. I love their attitude.
It's not an asthma attack. Boston Terriers uniquely have what is called a reverse sneeze, a rapid, repeated inhalation of breath through the nose to clear their passages.
Unfortunately, we bred dogs that can't really breathe that well. Odds are you're going to have related health issues.
The Boston Terrier's history dates back to 1865, when pit fighting was still popular. Coachmen, employed by wealthy Bostonians, began to crossbreed the swanky purebred dogs of their employers. The Boston Terrier is a cross between the English Bulldog and the now extinct White English Terrier.
These dogs were originally bred as a fighting dog, and they've been bred down to what's known today as just a really great companion dog.
These companion dogs have very unique characteristics. First, they are known for their expressive faces. The second characteristic is their striking color pattern.
Their nickname is the American Gentleman, usually because they have these kind of perfect markings, and it looks like they're wearing a tuxedo, hence the nickname.
Rose McGowan, the animal activist and actress, the star of the WB's Charmed and the blockbuster movie Scream, is a Boston Terrier fanatic.
Bostons are pure comedy and pure love. They'll make you laugh all day long. They're better than any TV program. I think the best thing to describe them is incredibly sweet-natured and very clown-like.
Their color pattern is brindle, black, or seal with white markings. Seal appears black, but has a reddish cast when viewed in the sunlight. The face has a white band over the muzzle and a white blaze between the eyes, and the forechest is also white. The Boston Terrier's muzzle is short, square, wide, and deep in proportion to his skull. Ever wonder why these dogs can clear a room? Because of their short muzzles, they take in air when they eat, causing...
This is a dog that's going to fart.
They can be gassy because they do inhale a lot of air.
The short muzzle is also responsible for snorting, grunting, and snoring.
This is a dog that's going to snore.
Despite the Boston Terrier's variety of sounds, they're a dog that does not usually bark unless necessary.
They only bark when you rile them up to play or when someone comes to the door because they're very, very good guard dogs.
People are crazy about their Boston Terriers, and Boston Terriers are crazy about their people.
I'm completely bewitched and obsessed by them now. I just love them.
This breed has inspired a legion of dedicated fans.
Jake? You drive all of your friends crazy with your fanaticism for the Boston. Good girl. They have great Boston Terrier kind of knickknacks out there. I keep it to one room in my house so I don't look like the crazy Boston Terrier lady, even though people call me that anyway. I got my first Boston Terrier, Miss Bug McGowan, 12 years ago, and then I got Fester, best man I've ever known, 6 months later, and it has been a hardcore love affair ever since then.
Rose was walking through a Hollywood mall when she found Bug in dire circumstances.
Her feet were kind of through these wire cages and her urine underneath. She just kind of looked about as underdog as you could get.
That's right, don't put it here.
Rose could not leave Bug in that cage and took her home. 6 months later, she saw Fester, and his condition was even worse.
Everybody thought he was going to die. He was very sick, and he had a piece of metal in his stomach.
Rose strongly opposes purchasing any dog from a puppy store, but the dog's dire conditions pulled at her heartstrings.
Had I not purchased Fester and Bug, I don't think they would be alive. Fester and Bug had an immediate impact on my life. They kind of added an element of humanity to me that I didn't know I possessed.
Rose's devotion to her dogs led her to a new calling, she rescues Boston Terriers.
Boston Rescue is a really important thing in my life because you do feel like you're giving back to something that has given you so much love. I find rescues that need to do emergency surgeries on the dogs they've just taken in. They've either been horribly abused or hit by a car. I like to finance those to help them find their forever homes.
In addition to financing medical care for Bostons, Rose has personally rescued and placed 6 Boston Terriers in loving homes. Sadly for Rose, one of her first rescue dogs recently passed away.
3 days ago, Fester died. He had a glial brain tumor, and it came up overnight, like 2 months ago. I tried radiation and chemo, and I could not save him. When I let him go, he was on his favorite blanket, and she laid down right next to him while he went to sleep. He was a gentleman, and I feel like part of me is gone.
If you're thinking of adopting a Boston Terrier, there are a few considerations. While active, these dogs overheat very easily.
You need to be really careful to make sure that you don't let them go too hard and too fast in the heat because they will push themselves beyond probably what they can handle.
So where you live is a consideration for this breed. Boston Terriers live 15 years plus, but due to difficulties caused by the dog's facial structure, they often suffer from respiratory issues. Boston Terriers have short coats and require very little grooming.
Very, very easy, small dog.
Having a high degree of intelligence and determination, the Boston Terrier is easy to train.
This is a tenacious dog, but this is not a tough dog to train.
The Boston loves people and is a great dog for children.
Boston Terriers can be really, really good family companions.
So in general, Boston Terriers don't fare well in hot or cold climates. They're prone to respiratory issues. Grooming is a breeze. They're smart and highly trainable. And they're great dogs for families.
I have a great amount of respect for this dog. This is a dog that I would definitely make a pet.
When Dogs 101 continues, how did these wrinkles help the Shar Pei in a tussle? Does the St. Bernard sense an avalanche in advance? And can those long ears help the Basset Hound's sense of smell? The Basset Hound, a dog with such dense bones, the dog drops like a stone in water. Its front legs are so far away from the hind legs, it has back problems. Dopey, drowsy, droll. The Basset Hound holds the record for the world's longest dog ears.
Basset Hounds are actually bred down from bloodhounds, which are known for their big, droopy ears.
And they've got the biggest, wettest, sexiest noses in the business.
With its lazy, good old boy looks, the Basset Hound has been an American icon since the 1950s.
Basset Hounds are lovable because of their big, long ears, kind of short, stocky body, and just kind of the way they run. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop.
They are just funny animals, and I think they know they're funny.
Hey, who's chewing my shoe?
Liz and Jack Schillinger are retired professors who are batty about Bassets. With Basset beds, Basset pies, and doggy doors galore, these hounds have it made.
We have enough Basset decorations and ornaments around our house. What we really have worked on is making our house Basset friendly.
The oldest is Ruby, and she's 10. Uh-oh, missed one. Charlotte has her own personality. You walk off the porch and walk away from her, she will just lose it. Sluggo is a typical Basset. When Sluggo stands up on his feet, he can get way back on the counter. You find the wrappers in the backyard if you're not careful. So this is a combination of brown turkey, peas, and rice.
These dogs can really put on the pounds. To keep their weight down, these hounds even enjoy homemade Basset food.
Dogs love garlic. It's in a lot of dog food, but it also helps keep fleas away.
Inspired by those lazy eyes, Liz has recently taken up painting this popular hound.
One reason I started painting Bassets was that I couldn't find any pictures of them that didn't portray them as cartoon animals. But they're also beautiful, and I think they are really fine animals.
But the Basset is a tale of two canines. The Schillinger's house pets are born hunters.
A Basset was born to hunt.
That's right. The Basset Hound was bred by French aristocrats for tracking rabbits.
Come on, get it, Hobbit!
In fact, French General Marquis de Lafayette reportedly brought the first Bassets to America as a gift for George Washington. Today, hunting rabbits using Bassets remains a time-honored tradition here in Washington's home state of Virginia.
When I first heard about hunting the Bassets, I thought, here you've got these big long-eared dogs that really don't look like they do a lot. This is something they were born to do. This is something they love to do.
Put the supposedly lazy Basset after a scent, and this hound will transform into a fine-tuned tracking machine.
He may look a little bit cartoonish, but all of those characteristics were bred into him for a specific purpose.
Think those short legs and big paws are a disadvantage to a tracking dog? Guess again.
That brings his nose closer to the ground. It really helps him in his job of tracking whatever critter it is he's after.
The slow pace of the Basset allows human hunters on foot to track rabbits. Large, big paws help support a surprisingly large body, with bones so dense that the Basset Hound, average height 14 inches, weighs as much as a 22-inch lab.
They're very well built. Deep chest, big paws. All of this is going to work in good stead when they are out there in pretty rough terrain.
And those big, adorable ears, well, they help the Basset gather scent. Bassets hold the record for the world's longest dog ear.
So when they are on a trail and the ears are actually dragging along the scent that they're tracking, the ears pick up the scent and keeps the dog stimulated to keep going after the scent.
That lovable, loose, droopy skin is another tracking tool that retains scent. It's also a boon for Basset cuddlers.
A lot of people like to hug and cuddle with them because they're very squishy.
You're a lover girl, aren't you?
Hunters also bred a white-tipped tail into the Basset in order to spot the dog in thick brush. From house dog to hunter, all these traits have one common goal: to support the nose.
They have the second best nose in the world to a bloodhound.
The Basset nose is a precision instrument. It contains nearly 20 million scent receptors, as compared to a mere 5 million for us humans. Like the bloodhound, the Basset has a long, deep muzzle. This nose can take in many subtle odors at once, zero in on one, and track.
They suddenly see a rabbit, and it's like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do. And it is so fun, it's so amazing when that happens on a young hound.
Even-tempered and adorable, the Basset is a dog lover's hound.
There is nothing like just bringing in a new puppy and beginning the process all over. And of course, in our case, we always have a couple of dogs ready to help train the new one.
And remember, the Basset is designed to retain all scent.
Basset Hounds have their own particular odor. It's kind of like corn chips, the smell of an open bag of corn chips, and it's delightful.
The Basset gets mixed reviews for environment. And even though it seems like a docile breed, it needs space.
I'd like to see these guys on a bigger piece of property.
Generally, this is a hardy breed with a few health issues, including bloating, as well as spinal problems.
They get ear infections because of their big, heavy, droopy ears.
With a short coat and relatively low shedding, this hound is easy to groom.
Because they're low to the ground, they tend to get dirtier, so they do require a lot of bathing.
Lovable, yes, but this dog is hard to train.
Stubborn, 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 stubborn.
They don't want to, they won't do it.
Stay.
If they want to, you can't keep them from doing it.
Dopey, loving, and dependable. The Basset is a wonderful family dog if you can deal with the needs of this hound.
our grandchildren love the dogs, so that's really fun.
So the Basset needs room to roam. This is a hardy breed, but you must clean their ears often. These dogs can be stubborn when it comes to training, and Basset Hounds are great with kids.
For us, a hound, a Basset, you can't do better than that.
More ahead on Dogs 101. If you're buried in snow, this is the one guy you want to hear coming. And why is the Shar Pei's tongue black? Now it's time to play Pick the Pooch. Did you know that dogs wag their tails mostly to the right? But this breed expresses joy by blushing, turning its ears, nose, and face a rosy shade of pink. Can you guess what dog this is? The answer when we come back. That's right, the Pharaoh Hound Dog, the national dog of Malta.
The Shar Pei is probably one of the most unusual looking breeds of all the breeds.
The reason they bred them to have all those wrinkles was because when they got into dog fights, their internal organs were protected by the wrinkles.
Definitely a great protection dog.
It's the one place where wrinkles are cute, is on a Shar Pei.
They're just this ball of wrinkled skin.
The wrinkles fade. Don't we all wish that wrinkles faded? As Shar Peis get older.
One Shar Pei, two Shar Pei. That's right. The plural for Shar Pei is Shar Pei. Don't worry, everybody gets it wrong. These adorable, wrinkly puppies were not always as cuddly and approachable as they seem today. 2,000 years ago, they were downright macho. The Chinese Shar Pei was a dog bred by Chinese royalty to guard the high palace and protect the royal family. But the Communist Revolution turned everything upside down for the Shar Pei. The government put a tax on every Chinese dog. The Shar Pei was about to go extinct. Then, to the rescue, of all things, an American magazine. That's right, Life magazine published a front-page photo of a Shar Pei in the late 70s. And overnight, the American public became smitten with these puppies, which sold for $3,000 a pup. Soon, those adorable puppies started popping up in ads, and they became the status dog.
My father, for some reason, got it locked in his mind that he needed us to have a Shar Pei. So lo and behold, we did go somewhere and we saw a litter, and of course, they're incredibly cute puppies.
What people loved was the wrinkly skin and what appeared to be fluffy fur. The name Shar Pei literally means sand skin, referring to the two distinctive qualities of its coat, rough and short. The sand skin is offensive to attackers. You see, it's all about the fighting.
Another dog would grab the skin, but wouldn't be able to necessarily get at something that was more important.
Another distinctive feature of the Shar Pei is the blue-black tongue. This uniquely colored tongue was thought to ward off evil spirits when exposed while barking. According to legend, it made the dog look fierce.
They're very territorial of their environment, so they do make a great guard dog.
I live alone, and I want a dog that when someone comes to my door, they're going to think twice about walking in my house.
This ancient fighting dog was bred for its aggressive traits. Today, the Shar Pei is being raised as a companion dog.
They're just adorable, and they're so nice. Like, I always thought that they were mean, or they were hard to take care of, or they're like this complicated dog. And then getting to know them, it seems like they're easier than most breeds.
But although these charming-looking dogs can be trained to be wonderful companions, they are naturally aggressive. Many new owners have no idea how to properly socialize the Shar Pei. This, combined with massive overbreeding, has left many dogs homeless.
It was one of the rarest dogs. Because of that, it was exploited to the point that now we have an overabundance of Shar Pei. So for me, it's about saving the ones that are in the shelters and making sure that we're not going to overpopulate with Shar Pei.
In the car, baby.
Through her rescue efforts, animal activist and Shar Pei champion Laura Say has given thousands of Shar Pei a new lease on life. And in return, these loyal, loving, wrinkly friends give back to Laura's patients at Shar Rehab, the physical rehabilitation center she founded.
Is that where it hurts?
A number of years ago, Laura treated one of her rescued Shar Pei, Benjamin, who was suffering from a spinal deformity at her rehab center. At that same time, Laura was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. She found Benjamin's companionship vital to her recovery.
It was nice to have a dog that wasn't going to judge the fact that I had, radiation burns and my hair was falling out. We were just both hanging out, trying to get better together.
Inspired by her experience with Benjamin, from that time forward, all the patients at Shar Rehab were able to enjoy the comfort and companionship these loyal Shar Pei provide.
Benjamin, because of his spinal deformity, would often be lying on a hot pack in my office. That made people have some empathy for him, as well as they were getting a hot pack at the same time. So I guess they were able to share that experience.
Now, when you visit Shar Rehab, the spirit of Benjamin lives on. Shar Pei, lots of them, running around all wrinkly and cuddly.
When I pulled up and I saw the flag out front that said Shar Pei's, I said, oh my goodness, I'm in my element.
And who wouldn't want to hang out with dogs while you're getting worked on?
They will greet people and give them kisses. Who is this? That's Babe. They say hello, and then their needs are met, and they can go back and finish the day.
She's just so fun to pet, and it's nice to soothe her, because she obviously just came from a scary place, so it's kind of therapy for both, animal and human.
With moderate exercise, the Shar Pei can be a good country, town, or city dog. Unfortunately, overbreeding has created some health concerns for the breed, including eye diseases, allergies, and skin irritations. The wrinkly folds in the Shar Pei's skin sometimes trap bacteria and need extra cleaning. But with proper diet and regular cleaning, these dogs won't require excessive grooming.
They're kind of a moderate grooming dog. They need regular bathing and they need attention paid to their skin, but regular ear cleaning and nail trimming is sufficient.
It's never too early to start socializing this breed to be around young children and strangers. An experienced trainer is recommended.
They are cute as puppies, but for training, they're a little hard to motivate.
Shar Pei are a loyal and devoted breed, but as a rule, do not do well with small children.
This would be a dog that I would definitely have as a one-man or one-woman puppy.
Overall, walk the dog every day and the Shar Pei can live anywhere. Shar Pei can have some health problems. These dogs are a snap to groom. Use an experienced trainer. Shar Pei do best with adults and make loyal pets. If you're devoted to your Shar Pei will be devoted to you. When Dogs 101 comes back, what's in those wooden kegs worn by St. Bernards? The St. Bernard, a brave, majestic dog, is known around the world for its heroism. So what's up with all that drooling? And what about that kitschy whiskey barrel? Was that real or fiction?
If you want a dog that's going to get you attention, get yourself a St. Bernard. I don't think you can walk down any street anywhere without getting, stopped every 5 feet.
When you first look at these guys, they're absolutely huge and demonstrative-looking animals, but the soul and the spirit of the animals that I've worked with have always been really gentle. That's the kind of animal that I'd like to see running around my house and playing with my children.
St. Bernards were the original high-adventure avalanche rescue dog.
They have a great desire and instinct to actually seek out, search, and find people.
Natural-born trailblazers with a superior sense of smell. It's said that they can detect a person buried under 20 feet of snow. Their strong, arched feet and large paws make them sure-footed and great at digging.
Bring a drool rag with you. You need to have one on your hip at all times.
Because of the shape of the jaw and jowls, there's loose skin around the facial area.
So if you're gonna have a St. Bernard, expect to get wet.
She's a good girl.
Believed to be descended from the Mastiff family, St. Bernards can weigh between 100 and 200 pounds.
It's naturally a gentle giant.
This heroic breed first found its calling high in the Swiss Alps, at a legendary hospice established as a safe haven for travelers crossing the treacherous mountain pass in winter.
It was the shortest way between north and south and the direct way to Rome.
Founded in the 11th century by a monk named Bernard de Menthon, it wasn't until the 1700s that dogs were first used at the hospice. The monks soon discovered that these dogs had some gifts that went above and beyond. Not only could they sense avalanches approaching, but they also had an uncanny ability to find victims lost in the snow.
And that's probably why the breed developed to the extent that it has today, because of the affinity between the monks and the dogs and both their desire to assist people.
Over a span of 200 years, St. Bernards have saved the lives of over 2,000 people. And although it's nice to imagine, and plenty of us have, St. Bernards never did carry those cute barrels of brandy. Instead, they wore packs with food and water. After some pretty tough winters, the monks attempted to improve the warmth of the St. Bernard coat by breeding them with the long-haired Newfoundland. But the new, fluffier St. Bernards did not fare any better due to ice and snow clumping and weighing them down. Today, the hospice still breeds this prestigious line, called the Grand St. Bernard. Although they haven't saved many lives since the advent of the helicopter because lighter breeds like German Shepherds are now used, they're still trained for rescue competitions. Justin, a 1.5-year-old born at the hospice, is one such dog. With the help of veteran rescue dog trainer Roland Eggen, Justin will keep his breed's historic tradition alive.
Yeah, Justin, yeah?
They train during the summer months on a glacier that sits at 10,000 feet above sea level and can be counted on for plenty of snow. Today, Roland and his team are teaching Justin to trust his senses during an avalanche simulation where he must find a live victim buried in the snow. Next on Dogs 101, Justin is put to the test, but does he have the skills to save a life in this avalanche rescue challenge?
I won't make it on my own. I have promised I will love you till the end of time. Doing all the good, the bad, the ugly, and divine. I will be the melody, the rhythm, and your rhyme. All I want is for you to be mine. So can I get it right now? 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 Let me just come and get it. Can I get it? When will you run with me like I know you wanna? Like you want to, like you wanna. You're the
Justin, an 18-month-old St. Bernard, is midway through his training as a rescue competition dog. Today's test, to unearth a would-be avalanche victim trapped in a snow cave. But will this St. Bernard succeed? Once he perceives the location of the trapped human, he begins digging with his powerful paws to save the life inside. To reinforce his success, Justin is lavished with praise and sausages. Justin's made great progress, but he still has 2 years of training before strutting his stuff in avalanche rescue competitions, continuing the brave legacy of the original hospice dogs. While their Swiss cousins may seem miles apart from our American St. Bernards, they're still the same bright breed with plenty of charm and cheer. Because they grow so fast, 100 different St. Bernard puppies were used to make the movie Beethoven Second. Whether short or long-haired, St. Bernards require a moderate amount of grooming and shed heavily 2 times a year.
They have a very oily, water-resistant coat, so you don't want to bathe them too often because you will strip the coat of all their natural oils.
For environment, St. Bernards fare better in a colder place. They're very large dogs, so make sure you have the space and the money to feed them. As far as health is concerned, the St. Bernard has more issues than most and can suffer from painful growth spurts and joint and heart problems.
When it comes to St. Bernard's health, you're probably going to spend a lot of money at the vet.
Training at an early age is the way to go. St. Bernards can run out of juice quickly, but they're very eager to please. And finally, nicknamed the babysitter, St. Bernards are a spectacular family dog.
I think that they're safe with children. I think that they are willing to listen with the right training and the right healthy play habits. This is a great dog to have for your family.
Oh, good girl.
So, in general, St. Bernards love lots of space and prefer the cold. This breed can run up your vet bills. They do need some grooming. They're trainable, but can tire quickly, and they can fit in with your family, especially one with kids. This gentle giant has a truly compassionate spirit, earning his place forever in our hearts. Just to recap, the Rottweiler is the tale of 2 dogs. On the one hand, a fierce defender of family and turf, with one of the strongest bites in dogdom. On the other hand, a Rottie can be a lovable sweetheart.
You hungry?
Choose yours with care. People go crazy for their Boston Terriers, even though they're the gassiest dog around. They're known for their expressive faces, grunting, and snoring. Basset Hounds are a dog designed around a nose. They were bred with short legs, so hunters could follow them on foot. The longest ears in the dog world help them gather scent around that powerful nose. Shar Pei is the Chinese breed that almost went extinct. Those wrinkles were designed to save them in a fight. And the wrinkles are what helped save them from oblivion. When American families saw those cute puppies, they couldn't resist the Shar Pei. The St. Bernard is the most noble breed, bred to save travelers in the Alps. Today, they're a star in Hollywood and in American homes. Remember, every dog is an individual and can vary from the general characteristics for temperament, health, and adaptability. If you're adopting a dog, do your homework and choose your next best friend wisely.